Alrighty. See if we can't find the stream. Shouldn't be too far away. Stream. There. Fantastic. Oh, that's a Twitch ad. Oh, ow. I was checking if the stream audio was working. I just got blasted with an ad. Ow. Okay. Let's try that again. Make sure that the audio is working. Yep. Okay. Everything is going through as it should. So the stream's up, the chat's up. We're all good to go. That's absolutely fantastic. Hello everyone and welcome to round 6 of the Pacific Tier 1 Championship here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event, and tonight we'll be racing at the Bahrain International Circuit for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Constructed in 2004 and designed by track-making Supremo Herman Tilke, this 5.41 kilometer 15-turn racetrack has gained a reputation of being one of the best circuits for side-by-side racing on the Formula 1 calendar. Reason being, it has 3 DRS zones that lead into the prime overtaking spots of Turn 1, Turn 4 and Turn 11, with other overtaking opportunities at the hairpin of Turn 8 and the penultimate corner of Turn 14. Outside of these areas, the drivers will have to deal with the terribly tricky traction zone through Turns 2 and 3, as well as the equally tricky braking zone through Turns 9 and 10. The high-speed S's of Turns 5, 6 and 7, as well as a high-speed right-hander of Turn 12, will be major hotspots for spins and accidents during both qualifying and in the race. Now, before we focus on qualifying, there is a bit of news to go through first from last week's race in Hungary. I wasn't able to attend last week's race, but I did capture some of the highlights of that event. Not too much in terms of stewarding reports, only one involving Seb and Jinbin, where Seb on a flying lap was blocked by Jinbin, and Jinbin received 1 penalty point as well as a qualifying ban for this round here at Bahrain. So Jinbin more than likely will be starting from the very back of the grid. There weren't any time penalties dished out after the race, so the final finishing positions remain unchanged. In the Drivers' Championship, Big Al is leading the way after his win at Mexico and his second win of the season at Hungary last week. He leads the championship by 8 points, with Seb in the Red Bull P2 and this man Leo P3. Leo on 93 points. He is 13 behind Big Al and is 5 behind Seb, who was on 98. Fourth in the Drivers' Championship is GeForce Crichton, followed by Spicy in P5, Crichton on 68, Spicy on 65. Next is Destiel on 53, followed by Ferrari Pro on 52. Darren 11 is next on 45. He's equal 9th with GeForce Ford, also on 45. And rounding out the top 10 is Ryan Bell on 43 points. In the Constructors, Red Bull are leading comfortably. They're on 191 points, followed by Alfa Romeo on 117. Yeah, it's a massive gap between the top 2 and the Constructors. Red Bull have got a really handy lead, but we've still got a long way to go in this championship. Next is Mercedes AMG on 103, followed by Ferrari on 97. Rounding out the top 5 is Haas on 73. Next is McLaren on 67, followed by Alpine on 63. Aston Martin on 59, AlphaTauri on 53, and Williams round out the Constructors on 35 points. GeForce Leo is about to begin his flying lap here. We're going to ride on board with the Red Bull driver, give you a tour of this 5.4 kilometer Tilke-drome. Down towards Turn 1, easily the best overtaking spot on the circuit. Brings it down to 3rd gear, clips the apex, gets back on the accelerator. Through Turn 2, you can see the car wobbling through there as he applied the accelerator and he's backed out of the flying lap. Fair enough. It is a very, very tricky traction zone through Turns 2 and 3. You do have to be exceptionally careful through there. Vision making his way through the same section. Gets through tidily through Turn 2, up the hill, round Turn 3. He'll open DRS and head down towards the second best overtaking spot on the circuit, Turn 4. Hard on the brakes at the 100 meter board. Down to 4th gear. back on the accelerator, rides a little bit of the outside curb. We'll complete the first sector around turn 5 into turn 6 and around turn 7. This high-speed S section is definitely going to be an accident hotspot during the race. Around turn 8, using a little bit of the outside curb, the exit of the right-hander over the crest and around the tricky turns 9 and 10. Remember, these guys aren't running assist, no traction control or ABS, so the drivers have to pull the car up the hard way through that section, just like in real life. Down towards turn 11, definitely a potential overtaking spot, but you need to be committed through this left-hand bend. Now into the notorious turn 12. Do not touch that inside curve, your car will spin, as he heads around turn 13 and begins the final sector on the lap. Long straightaway here, climbing up through the gears, heading down towards the final 2 corners on the racetrack. Turns 14 and 15. 4th gear, flipping the first apex and around the final corner, turn 15. Now it's just a dash towards the line. DRS open and vision will set a 28.6. Second quickest out of the time set so far. Only 4 and a bit tenths off Huey's current pole time. Bags Liddell has just jumped up to P2. He showed promising pace in the Elite Series, so I'm sure you'll try and reflect that here in Pacific Tier 1 as Cy Luke jumps up to P4. F1 Ferrari Pro finished on the podium in the Elite Series on Sunday here at Bahrain, so he'll be looking to replicate that if he can. Need to try and qualify as high up as possible though. He'll make his way out of the final corner and down the main straightaway. DRS open, up towards the line. Ferrari Pro, well, he puts himself onto the front row. P2 with the 28.269. 3 cars in the 28.2s. Destiel making his way down towards turn 4. Hard on the brakes, bringing it down to 4th gear, back on the accelerator, and up towards the first sector split. He'll cross it and set a 28.2. Through turn 6, through turn 7, down the hill towards the hairpin of turn 8. Brings it down through the gears, down to 4th gear. Nice and steady on the exit. Little bit of oversteer on the exit, but he kept it tidy for the most part. Around turns 9 and 10, 4th gear. Gently reapplying the accelerator. There is Spicy, who I believe is on an in-lap. Down the back straightaway towards turn 11, 8th gear, entry speed. 308, I believe I saw indicated there, as G-Force Ford jumps to the top with a 28.151. He's beaten Huey by 0.06 of a second. Around turn 13, and almost running a bit too wide there, but he kept just enough rubber on the racetrack to not get an invalidation there. Around the final 2 corners, turns 14 and 15, Seb jumps to the top with a 27.9. Destiel will cross the line to set a 27.696. He's just gone 2 tenths faster on his first lap compared to Seb in P2. Big Al, can he try and match that? He's making his way around the final 2 corners and back onto the main straight. He'll open DRS and head up towards the line. It's a 27.795. He's beaten Seb by a little over 1/10 of a second, but he's just missed out on pole position by just under 1/10 of a second. T-Mac on the flying lap. He's one of 3 drivers yet to set a lap time, making his way around turn 8, then climbing up the hill towards turns 9 and 10. Up and over the crest into the 2 left-handers. 7th, bringing it down to 3rd gear, short shifting up to 4th on the exit. Nice and tidy, using all of the outside curb there. Heading down the back straightaway towards turn 11. Braking just before the 50 board, brings it down to 5th gear, back on the accelerator, then climbs the hill up towards turn 12. 6th gear, 7th gear, up towards the middle sector split. It's a 1 minute 6.5 to the middle sector. Coming out of turn 13, down the long straightaway towards the penultimate corner. Entry speed we're going to see here, 308 kilometers an hour into 14. Short shifting up to 5th gear at the exit of the penultimate corner. Now sending it down the main straight. DRS open, up towards the line. It's a 28.321. It's P8 with that lap. Ryan Bell getting himself ready. Jinbin, I believe, he's just doing a installation lap, making sure his setup's confirmed. He'll retire in the pit lane in a few moments. Bell, who has got RC next to his name. Got no idea what that means. Someone in the comments can shed some light on that. That would be very helpful. But Mr. Bell, making his way down the main straight, will begin his first flying lap attempt. Down towards turn 1, 325 kilometers an hour. He brings it all the way down to about 74-ish, I think I saw there. At the and a big slide through turn 2 and 3. That was a huge slide. Great catch though. Kept the car straight, and he's still pushing on this lap, it seems. Around turn 4. It's sideways again. Yeah, that AlphaTauri don't look too good in the rear end. Still sliding about. It looks like he's still pushing. A race clutch. Interesting. Making his way around turns 9 and 10 and down the back straightaway. We'll see how this lap pans out. This shouldn't be a competitive lap. He's been all over the place through the first and middle sectors. Has he backed out? No, he's still using battery. He's still going for it. On his way up towards the middle sector split. It's a 6-6. That's not too bad. Oh, gee whiz. Swirly on the exit there. That could put him, I'm not sure, maybe P8 or so with that middle sector split. Well, I guess we'll find out how this all pans out. He's still sliding about, and he bails on the lap. About time. Well, he put on a show regardless, so thank you for that, Ryan. I appreciate it. Destiel getting ready, Big Al getting ready, Seb getting ready, 40 getting ready. A lot of drivers getting ready. Huey, he's already ready. He's making his way around turn 4 up towards the first sector split. What does the clock say? To the first sector, he's up, and up by a chunk. That's 0.2 of a second he's found there. Down the hill and around the hairpin at turn 8. Brings it down to 4th gear. Then gets a tidy exit. No wheel spin, no oversteer whatsoever. He'll make his way around turn 9 and... Oh, hello, Wogboy. Nice to see you joining the session. Exiting turn 10 now. Making his way down the back straightaway towards turn 11. Use all of the racetrack on the right-hand side of the circuit. And chuck it in around turn 11. There's a Williams around. Who might that be? No, it can't be Jimbin. He's in the pit, so that must be Vision, as Huey's up by just over 0.3 of a second to the middle sector. Now down the long straightaway towards the final 2 corners on the racetrack. With this sort of improvement, he'll jump into the 27s here. Might not challenge for pole, but he can challenge the top 3. Making his way out to the final corner and down the main straightaway. DRS open, up towards the line. It's a 27.796. He's missed out on taking P2 by 1,000th of a second. Not much. Not much at all. And Wogboy's left the session as soon as he joined. Hopefully he'll be able to get into a car and actually compete in the race. Hopefully. Big Al making his way around turn 4 up towards the first sector split. What does the clock say? He's up by just a little bit, 26,000ths of a second. Big Al meanwhile making his way around turn 4. He's heading up towards the first sector split. What does the clock say? The clock says he's up by 21,000ths of a second. So both Big Al and Destiel are improving on their lap times. Making his way now out of turn 10 and down the back straightaway. Big Al, will he get a toe here? No, he's way too far behind from the car in front. As G-Force Ford has jumped to the top. 1 minute 27.620. He's beaten Destiel by 76,000ths of a second. His teammate Ferrari Pro has just jumped up to P5 with a 27.893 as Big Al is up by just over 1/10 of a second to the middle sector. With that sort of improvement, he could challenge for pole position. Needs to find more time though here in the final sector. Around the final 2 corners, running wide there, that might have cost him time. Let's find out. He'll open DRS and head up towards the line. It's a 27.715. It did cost him time. Oh dear, stays P3. Destiel meanwhile making his way out to the final 2 corners down the main straightaway, crossing the line, and he retakes pole position by 0.03 of a second. Not much at all separating the top 2. G-Force Leo, you on a lap, mate? No, you're not. You're not using any battery. T-Mac? Maybe? Nope. Sorry, Spicy's the car out on track, and no, he's definitely not on a lap. Plev's not on the lap, he's going back in. Ryan Bell appears to be on the lap. We'll keep an eye on him for a bit. Making his way up the hill and up towards the final two... Sorry, up towards the turns 9 and 10. Tidy exit there. He'll open DRS eventually. Took him a little while to open DRS there. Down the back straight away towards turn 11. Get on the brakes, brings it down to 5th gear, back on the accelerator, eventually reaching full throttle as he heads around the right-hander of turn 12, up towards the middle sector split. It's a 5.8 to the middle sector, making his way now down the long straightaway, up towards the final 2 corners on the racetrack. He hasn't got a lap time down yet, Ryan Bell. He needs to get one down here. He needs to get through these final 2 corners without making a mistake, and he certainly did not make a mistake there. DRS open up towards the line for Ryan Bell, and he takes pole. You're joking. He did not set one lap time before that moment. It's a 27.476. What an effort with 3.5 minutes left in qualifying. That's not easy, you know. To not set a lap time throughout this entire session, have the pressure on you, well, whew. Bell dealt with that pressure pretty well, and he's put it right at the front of the field. What an effort. Alright, Wog Boy, what can you dish up? You haven't got a lap time yet. You only joined, what, with about 6 minutes left in qualifying, so Wog Boy's going to be a tad bit rusty. I know Wog Boy, he's a quick character. We'll see how he fares. He'll open DRS and head down the main straightaway. Meanwhile, Vision's on an outlap, so is GeForce Leo, and in fact, Wog Boy's going to get traffic. So there is an Alpine making their way out. That must be Plez, surely. It would have to be Plez. No, it's Luke. Making his way around turn 3 and down towards turn 4. Now, he'll get hard on the brakes here, bring it down to 4th gear, clip the apex, get back on the accelerator, tidy exit up towards the first sector split. 28.4, that's pretty solid to the first sector, I have to say. Around turn 7, down the hill and around turn 8. See the traffic getting in the way. So shouldn't be phasing Wog Boy too much. Up and over the crest, heading around the 2 left-handers of turn 9 and 10. Brings it down to 2nd gear. Short shifts up to 3rd, up to 4th on the exit. Desperately trying to get the power down onto the road. Make his way down the back straight away towards turn 11. 7th gear, 8th gear. He'll bring it down through the gearbox, down to 4th. Short shifts up to 5th as he climbs up the hill around turn 11. Around turn 12. Up towards the middle sector split. It's a 6-7. Okay, so he's about, what? Just under a second off poles. So he's going to land about P14, maybe P13. Let's find out as he makes his way through the final sector. Around the final 2 corners and up towards the line for Wog Boy. He's not put a lap time down. He only joined midway through the session. And it's P15. Ryan Bell retires from the session as well. So that's it. That is the benchmark to beat. 1 minute 27.475. Seb making his way around the final 2 corners. He'll send it down the main straightaway and begin his final flying lap with 1 minute left in qualifying. Bate, meanwhile, making his way towards turn 4. He's currently P9 with a 28.1. What can he do to the first sector? Gets a tidy exit out of turn 4, up towards the first sector split. Clock says he's up by 88 thousandths of a second. He makes his way out to turn 7, down the hill and towards turn 8. On the brakes and down to 3rd gear, get a tidy amount of rotation through there as GeForce Leo, his session is done. Seb, meanwhile, is up by 65 thousandths of a second to the first sector. Ferrari Pro begins his final flying lap. So does Huey. Big Al is on his final flying lap. Up towards turn 4. Brings it down to 4th gear. Back on the accelerator, short shifting to 5th. He'll make his way up towards the first sector split. Clock says he's up by 43 thousandths of a second. T-Mac retires from the session as well. GeForce Ford is just behind Big Al. Destiol just behind him. So P2 3 and 4 all in a train here, as well, we saw a brief glimpse of T-Max Alpha slammed into the barrier. Coming out of turn 10 now, he'll open DRS and head down the back straight away. Has Big Al found any sort of time here in the middle sector? He'll head up towards turn 11, hard on the brakes, down to 5th gear, back on the accelerator, tidy exit, no wheel spin, no oversteer. He'll head around turn 12, up towards the middle sector split. Clock says he's up by a 10th and a quarter. As Destiel crashes out, that is at turn 11, and GeForce Ford, he spun as well. Oh my goodness me. And Ford was in front of Destiel. Ooh. Well, that says something, doesn't it? 40 slamming it into the barrier, and Big Al's invalidated this run. Could it be pole? Or not quite. He would have missed out. Is Ryan Bell going to get pole position in the garage here? Huey is up, but not by enough though. Oh, and he loses control through the final 2 turns. Oh my goodness me, he's not going to improve. Neither will Ferrari Pro. Vision? No. That's it. That's qualifying done. Is it? No. Plebs is up by half a second to the middle sector. That sort of improvement, he can jump up. Oh, about 2 positions. He needs to find more time. Up towards the line now for Plebs. It's only P17. How about that? The entire field is separated by 1.2 seconds. First to 18th is 1.2 seconds. What happened with Destiel and Ford? I wonder, because in that group, Ford was ahead of Destiel. Destiel was at the end of the train. It was Big Al, Ford and Destiel. That was the train. So, Ford spun at turn 11. Maybe Ford and Destiel hit one another? Or they both spun at the same court? I don't know. I'm lost on that one. There we are. It's Ryan Bell. He got pole position while in the garage. 1 minute 27.474. That is the pole time for this Bahrain Grand Prix. Destiel will line up alongside in P2, followed by GeForce Ford in P3, Big Al P4, Seb P5, Huey P6. Next is Ferrari Pro in 7th, followed by Spicy in 8th, GeForce Leo 9th, Vision rounds out the 10. Bags Liddell P11, followed by Bait and T-Mac, Broke Vegan P14, followed by Cy Luke, Darren 11, Plebs, Wogboy and Jimbin will start from the very back of the grid. That was certainly an interesting end to qualifying, an end that I wasn't expecting. That's for sure. Alright, let's see what the race is going to dish out, shall we? Oh. Alright, now, in races past, the entire field starts on the hard compound tyre. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the case here at Bahrain. I would not be surprised at all. And I reckon all the opposing mechanics agree with me that everyone's going to start on the hard tyre. I could be wrong. It could be a fairly decent mix-up when it comes to strategy, but I just can't help but feel that everyone's going to start on the same tyre. We're not going to have much diversity when it comes to tyre compounds. I could be wrong though. There's some clouds about as well. Bit atypical for Bahrain, but we shouldn't get any rain. This is the only racetrack I've been to now that I haven't seen rain at. I've seen rain at Abu Dhabi and I've seen rain at Jeddah during dynamic weather conditions as well. So it was genuine. It wasn't like set with custom weather. It was genuine wet weather at Abu Dhabi and at Jeddah. This is the only track I haven't seen wet weather at. Huey's left the session. Hopefully he can rejoin ASAP. Alright, I see a lot of hard tyres. Yeah, what do you know? Just about everybody starting on the hard tyre. Oh, who could have predicted that? Jinbin starting from last and starting on the soft tyre. Not sure if he made a mistake or he's just, sending screw it. Let's see what happens. Cy Luke on the medium compound tyre there in P15. But that's it. It's like, I don't know, 17 odd people on hard tyres. Yeah, we saw Demo, and don't worry, he will have backup invites, I would think. Mr. Plebs here is the race coordinator, league or tier coordinator, I suppose. So he's the one who handles all the invites. So I think everyone should have got an invite plus a backup, hopefully. And besides, even if Huey was able to rejoin during this this formation lap period, the game won't allow you to take control of your car until after the formation lap. Very strange, but it's just how the game works. We'll just turn off the detail graphic for now. We'll bring that up later, maybe after the first lap. So, with everyone on the same strategy, it just basically means everyone has to dogfight from start to finish. There's no strategy games you can play. It's just go at it. Everyone's on the same strategy. Everyone will be roughly pitting at the same time. It's just going to be a whole heap of dogfighting between just about everybody. Alright, so Ryan Bell making his way back onto the grid. And Bell will be lining up on the outside, heading towards turn 1. It's a fairly lengthy run to turn 1. Bell on that outside line has the cleanest side of the racetrack. Should get a better start there. But Destiel, of course, has the inside line heading towards turn 1. So if he gets a better start, he might be able to cover off Bell and anyone else who wants to try and attack into turn 1. Well, not too surprising that Plebs hasn't invited him back. I can't. I might have Huey as an EA friend, but there's a friends list glitch. And I reckon we might be having a glitch here too. We're all lined up and there's no go. So what's happening here? Better keep an eye on this, I guess. Is this an actual race start? I don't know, let's find out. Well, lights out and away we go. Heading down towards turn 1. Bell, oh, okay, maybe not. Yeah, okay, so this is a lobby restart. As you could probably guess from the carnage at turn 1, this is a lobby restart. Alright. What's for Oprah? I saw him enter turn 4 backwards. Right, so we're going to skedaddle. And we're going to wait patiently for the lobby to be reset. Exit multiplayer. But yeah, I'll show you this neat glitch and why I can't send invites to anyone. It's very stupid, but it's a thing. So, with your EA friends list, if the amount of friends you have surpasses, I think it's 100, this will happen. Oh, my battery's low on this. Anyway, so if I go over to the friends list, it'll load up, and it'll take its sweet time, but it will load up eventually. Hopefully. Yeah, there you go. So you see there, 33 of 132 friends online. So I think the limit's about 110 or something. Once it goes over that limit, nothing appears at all. And this happens in this menu as well as when you're in the lobby itself. So not a single one of your friends will appear online. The only people you can try and invite in are people who share the same platform as you. I'm on PlayStation, obviously. So yeah, the only people I could try and invite in is people on PlayStation. I can't invite anyone from the PC world back into the lobby, which seriously sucks. So, who got pole again? Bell. Bell got pole. That's right. I'll take a quick squiz at the Discord and see what's going on also, guys. Yeah. It's all getting sorted, it seems. I'm guessing either Plebs or Bags Liddell will be hosting the lobby. Ferrari Pro is a bit upset about the whole restart thing, but, you know, what can you do? I think it's a collective frustration that we all have with Crossplay, is that it's not refined even in the slightest. As a result, we just keep running into problems, keep tripping up over ourselves. Yeah, I feel as if we're going to need a lot of spare invites next time. Just being dished out. We can't just send one invite to PC players and have them work off that. We're going to need to send them several. Oh, I thought Plebs would have done that anyway. I thought he would have sent at least a couple of invites to somebody. Yeah, I know, man. I'd be too. Fun. Weirdly enough, though, I haven't been disconnected from any session. I've been either very lucky or I've done something that allows me to just stay connected a lot of the time. Because whether I'm racing or commentating, I'm always in the lobby. I never did. Unless you press, unless you go into the menus and go to Race Director, then it bugs the game up. You should, don't do that, by the way. If you're spectating and you go into the Race Director through the menu, your game will just essentially crash, is what it will do. It will come up with the race ending sort of scenes, see a podium and whatnot, and the game will declare that the race is over. And what you have to do is leave the lobby and rejoin. So yeah, whatever you do, if anyone's spectating, don't go into Race Director. Whatever you freaking do not go into Race Director. Let's see here. Can I join through bags? Or maybe I can. Yeah, that looks like the right one. Yeah, well, that's a fair point, KD. You're the one who pointed that out to me. That's very fair. Yeah, you informed me about it, and I experienced it as well. So yeah, just whatever you do not go into Race Director when you're spectating. Yeah, it just screws the game up. Amongst other things in this game. This game's just a big pile of bugs. It is very stupid, KD. There's a lot of stupid glitches in this game. It's a stupid game in general. Very stupid, and I cannot wait for F1 2023 to be the exact same thing. Can't wait. We're only missing one. Who are we missing? I don't know. One of the Mercedes and one of the Haas. Who was in the other Haas? There was Destiel. Broke Vegan, that's right. Broke Vegan's in the other Haas. That's exactly who it is. I was trying to remember who was reserving because I knew Ecam wasn't racing. Alright. Hopefully this won't take too much longer. I think who's host Bags? Bags will have to set a custom grid up for this race. And any driver who's watching this stream, remember as well, please, to put a setup on. You don't want to run around in a tier as competitive as this with default. I know with your talent you'd probably do alright, but as qualifying demonstrated, the entire field was separated by 1.2 seconds, which is pretty impressive. I mean, it's a 5.4 kilometer layout, 15 turns, a lot of areas where you can make mistakes, and the entire field was separated by 1.2. That's quite impressive. So pats on the back to everyone in that session. It's just unfortunate that the game always seems to get in our way, just hold up the entire process of hosting and running this race. But hopefully all those hiccups are now out of the way and we can focus on the main event uninterrupted, hopefully. Timer ticking down, will reach 0, screen will cut to black. We'll see, yeah, Giga F1, exactly. The game is very Giga, especially the bugs. They're so Giga, they impede us every week. I wonder what tyres people would choose. Would they go harder? Would that would it change anything for the race? I don't know. Yeah, that's right. It's all part of the EA experience, you're absolutely right. As Darren 11 has left the session. Oh, for crying out loud. GeForce Leo's left. Oh, hang on. Wait, have we got another lobby reset? No? We just had 2 people leave the session. Why did the timer start going? Have people forgotten that you need to upload a setup? You're tier 1 for crying out loud. Oh, it's Luke. Luke, press X. Luke! You fool. No, ACW, it was Luke. He said it in the Discord. Oh, for goodness sake. And we got soft tires here, we got medium tires here, we got soft tire here, and a few more mediums. Oh, for crying out loud. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. On the Discord chat, I should say. And I see spinning on the formation lap. I see people stopping. I see people just, yeah. I think, don't leave the lobby, just retire. So you stay in the lobby. So everyone needs to retire. So, okay, I get what Plebs is trying to do here. So, instead of restarting the lobby, what he's asking people, as Luke has left, what he's asking people to do is stay in the lobby and retire. Retire the car. Have everyone retire the car. So, hopefully that'll work. Hopefully everyone just disqualified. Drive backwards or something. Just turn around, drive backwards. Or hit someone. and disqualify yourself. And I was just seeing someone spin. Is that Ryan or is that Dave? No, it's Ryan. His teammate. Oh, he's ghosting. Drive backwards. Just drive backwards. That's an easy DSQ. Is this an AI? Out of curiosity. Looks like it. No, that's not an AI racing line. That's definitely not an AI. I have a feeling after watching that's not an AI. Although that's roughly what the AI does in career mode when they try and overtake you. Alright, so... Vision sending it in. Love it. I haven't seen a call for a restart yet. I've just seen the message for everyone to line up. There's Seb doing some doughies. Very pretty. As he'll get himself lined up, hopefully, and when the lights go out, everyone should retire. Hopefully. So, what the hell are these camera angles? What are these? What are these? Oh, we have drive-through penalties. We have jump starts everywhere. What are those camera angles? I have no idea. And it's lights out and away we crash. What a terrific start from all the Tier 1 drivers. The action is quite frankly spectacular. Oh, my goodness. Drive-through penalties, disqualified from the session. We just need everyone to retire. These three AI, as soon as everyone else retires, the race will end. Road Vegan's pulling off the track, Darren 11. Is that the AI? I think it is. So who's left? Broke Vegan's left. He just needs to retire. Just need everyone to retire, man. Just need everyone to retire. He's reserving, Alex. Because all these other cars, they're in AI. These drivers left, so we just need Vegan to retire. And he's not doing that, he's wasting time. So, for God's sake. There we go. And now that should end the session. Because all these cars are just AI. Well, it should. Why isn't this ending? All of these guys are in AI. This should end the lobby. Or end the race. I've seen this exact stuff happen before, and you know, we've had coordinators try and just keep the lobby running. We just retire everyone and restart. And all the AI, they don't keep racing, they stop. Like that, finally. Yeah, we could do a NASCAR style ACW where we just draw names out of a hat. And whoever name is drawn either first or last is the race winner. We could do that. It'd be probably more entertaining than this. Oh, well, what a race win for F1, whatever. Oh, look at these race results. Oh, aren't they just... Oh, doesn't it tell of a magnificent race here at the Bahrain International Circuit? My goodness. F1 Ferrari Pro wins from starting 7th. We'll end up finishing at the top of the table with a fantastic race time of 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Well, apparently Luke did the same time. The exact same time. Apparently, and everyone else finished 1 lap down. And 2 disqualifications from Seb and Huey. course. Can't forget that during the race. Yeah, that's right, ACW. It was. It was high quality esports competition between all 19 of these brilliant drivers on this even more brilliant racing game. Oh, can't you tell, Chad? I'm having so much fun. I really am. Oh, I could vent, but I don't want to be loud. That'll be rude. Oh, so what are we doing? Are we restarting? Okay, so after all of that, we're restarting the lobby. Can you believe it? After all of that, I am taking my glasses off for a second because I need to just calm myself down a bit. We're going to restart. Oh yeah, this is my house, by the way. It's got nothing in it. Because when I updated to the PS5, obviously none of my save data transferred through. So I got nothing. Yeah. What can we look at? Sick of looking at F1 cars. F2 cars. Which F2 cars should we look at? We've got Hauger, Ruvula, Doohan, Sato, Lawson, Sargent, Armstrong, Vips, Vesti, Porsche, Drogovic, Novalak, Cadwell, Bashon, Nisani, Iwasa, Giga Iwasa, Bashaw, Williams, Sargent. Well, yeah, that's fair enough. Where are you? Sargent, there you are. This chat of a driver is now in Formula One. Have it all right to do, to be perfectly fair. And I'm sure KD in the chat would agree. It's about time that an American actually was on the grid. It's been a long, long time. You know, of course, we had Mr. Rossi, Alexander Rossi, do a few races here and there, but the last genuine full-time season for an American driver, I believe, was Scott Speed. So it has been an awfully long time, and I'm stoked for the guy as well. So I just hope that Logan has as much promise as Williams thinks he's got, and he's able to build a solid career for himself. Yeah, his debut, it wasn't terrible at all. He did a pretty solid job all around. Alright, let's have a look here. Seems that the new lobby should be up and running. There it is. Hop into the lobby. For the third time, chat. Can you believe it? 3 times. Joining session, please wait. Oh, game, you have no idea how long I've been waiting. Can you join session, game? Yes, you can. Thank you. Right. Understandable, Luke. Understandable, Luke. Thanks for the message, though. I would have been a bit bewildered why you didn't show up again, so thanks for that. I appreciate it. Alright. So, at 8 minutes to the hour, we're going to have our third crack. I'm going to assume everyone will be a bit rusty now, having a long break since the end of qualifying to now. Race start's going to be interesting. And please, please, please put setups on. You do not, I repeat, do not want to do the whole race with no setup. No setup, no fun. That's how it works. So we should only have 18 for the start of this. Yeah, no. I think, chat, we're getting up towards a point where I reckon a lot of the people in this lobby, including myself, just getting towards the point of just trying to slam their head against the wall or something, just out of frustration, or going into settings and deleting this game, because it's honestly not worth it. You know, the really sad thing is, I honestly do not believe with a single fibre of my body that F123 is going to be any better. Formation lap is off, according to Plebs, so it seems that we're going to have a slight settings change. So the formation lap has been completely turned off, so hopefully no one leaves, hopefully, during the formation lap. I mean, with this game, who the hell knows? Not one fibre, Luke, no. Not one. I'm completely done with the F1 franchise as a whole. And F123 is going to be a carbon copy paste of this to the exact detail. I do not see them changing a single thing. And there goes Leo out of the session already. And there goes Plebs out of the session already. Clear skies here at Bahrain. And there goes Ferrari Pro out of the session. It might be clear in the game, folks, but I can't help but feel there's a dark cloud hanging over every single one of our heads. I honestly can't. I just, yeah. When the session timer's popped up, potentially ACW. So hopefully everyone's got this set up. Hopefully everyone can get their strategies in order in the time remaining. And hopefully the race can be nice and clean. Let's find out. No formation lap, remember, so it's lights out and away we go. So we have 18 cars lined up, 12 drivers on the 15 drivers on the grid. And we're underway here in Bahrain. It's a nice start from Ryan Bell. It's a nice start from Destiel. It's an even better start from GeForce Ford and F1 Ferrari Pro. Down towards turn 1. It's Ryan Bell who leads. Ferrari Pro. Ghosting? No, that's his teammate. Ford who's ghosting, I think. Through turn 1, around turn 2. No, it is Ferrari Pro who's ghosting. Oh, it's the AI. The AI got a terrific start. Right, I understand now. Around turn 4, up towards turn 5 now. Ferrari Pro's AI dipping down through the order. And there goes No, it's Seb spinning at the exit of turn 4 and tumbles down to P17. It's Ryan Bell still at the front. Destiel second. Big Al third. GeForce Ford in fourth. Vision getting by the AI of Ferrari Pro. Ferrari Pro being overtaken by Broke Vegan through turn 9. Into turn 10, onto the back straightaway now. Whack on the details here. Who's starting on what tyre? It appears that all of the AI have chosen to start on the mediums. Don't think Jinbin's in AI mode though. I think that's a genuine strategy call from him. Everyone else though is on the hard compound tyre for the start of this Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm just going to quickly pause and unpause. No, it's just this quiet. It shouldn't be this quiet, but it is this quiet. And Jinbin all the way towards the back. Somehow he ended up towards the back as Leo has rejoined the session as Ryan Bell is pulling away out in front. Destiel and P2 6/10 behind, followed by Big Al and G-Force Ford. Then it's a 1 second gap between Ford and Bate, and then he begins another train of cars with Spicy behind him, followed by Vision, Broke Vegan, Bags Liddell, and Darren 11 rounds out the top 10. Around turn 4, some free wide action towards the back, but I can't help but feel that's just AI. Yeah, look. Just carnage with the AI. Ferrari Pro's dropped down to 14th position. Yeah, that's a fair enough comment to make, Cloves. I won't say it on stream, but it's an absolutely fair comment to make. Big Al under pressure from G-Force Ford as Ferrari Pros rejoin the session, and probably to his frustration, he'll find himself in 15th position. Around turn 11, sparks flying as the leaders make their way up the hill towards turn 12. Chucking it hard right around turn 12, up towards turn 13. Can Ford find a way by Big Al? Ryan Bell's trying to pull away. Plebs has rejoined the session. Down towards 14-15. Chucking it through the right handles. Bates kept it tidy off the start, hasn't he? Up 7 positions, you're right. That is quite the start. I failed to notice that. He's made up 7 spots. I probably would have noticed that if we had this race start right after qualifying, but yeah, Bates done really well. Seb down the inside of Darren 11 through turn 1 and around turn 2. So Seb moves himself up into P10. Oh, and Darren almost loses it through to entering 3 as Ferrari Pro gets by Plebs. Oh, hang on. Who's that who's spun? I thought I saw someone facing the wrong way. I guess I was wrong. Around turn 8, heading up the hill towards turns 9 and 10. G-Force Leo gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, making his way onto the back straightaway. The leaders get through the corner well. Oh, Bate doesn't though. He understeers wide and lets Spicy through. That's for P5. Bate down to 6th. But Vegan's kept out of trouble too. He's up 6 positions. Darren 11 and Wogboy up 4. We head around turn 12 up towards turn 13. He's top 4. They're pulling away from the midfield. So we're going to have a 4-car fight for the race lead as Huey's rejoined the session, but he's 32 seconds behind the field. Oh, it's going to be a long race for you, Huey. I really do feel bad for you. I feel bad for a lot of the drivers competing in this event. Big Al sets a new fastest lap, 32.2 is the time he set. Destiel closing in, but not by enough to attack the leader into turn 1. As Leo gets a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pits, he'll retire from the session. Ferrari Pro is in as well. He'll get new tyres. He'll get in front of the AI of G-Force Leo. Into the S's now, turns 5, 6, and through the left-hander of 7. They're still half a second behind Ryan Bell. Big Al just behind as well. G-Force Ford in 4th. And it's 2.6 seconds back to this train here. We have Spicy Bait, Vision, Broke Vegan, Yellow's out. That is the AI of Leo re-entering the track. Darren 11 on the back of Seb as well. There's a pair of Aston Martins of Liddell and Seb. They're sandwiching the Red Bull of Seb. Leo's left the session, and understandably so, he's had enough. Ferrari Pro has had a spin. That is at the exit of turn 4. Down the straightaway towards the final 2 corners. Half a second separating the top 2. Can Destiel find a way by? We'll flick on the telemetry, see what the battery's like. Wow, Bell has all of it. Destiel has a little bit less, but he's still got plenty. Big Al's used a fair chunk. And Ford, he's third best when it comes to the battery life. He's fastest though, a 32 flat from him. Destiel closing in, not by enough to attack into one. Nice shot here. See the leaders making their way through the opening corner. You could also see the midfield pack formed by positions 5 all the way down to 13th. It's a big train that. Oh, Al breaks deep into turn 4. He got right up in behind Destiel's gearbox. Oh, but that's a wiggle there. That cost him time. Now Ford is all over the back of him. But Ford will have nowhere to go except maybe down the inside here into 8. But he's not close enough. But again, Big Al sends it in deep. He closed in on Destiel there in the braking zone towards turn 8. As Huey does the fastest lap of the race. A 31.5 on the medium compound tyre. Yellows are out. It's a slow-moving Jinbin, I believe. Or Plevs, is it? No, it must be Plevs. Slow moving through turn 7, entering turn 8. Up the hill, out of turn 11, you can see the sparks flying there. Making their way around turn 12, into turn 13. Ferrari Pro has dropped down to last a moment again at turn 4. Climbing up through the gears, buried in the slipstream. 40 isn't in a particularly strong position when it comes to overtaking. Two of his rivals in front do have DRS, so 40 won't be gaining too much on them. But what he could try and do is try and save battery, of course. Destiel not ready to attack just yet. He's going to stay behind the leader. I believe it was either Jinbin or Plevs who had a moment over at turn 13. I did see a brief glimpse of that on the minimap. Didn't think too much of it. Look at this midfield pack. There's not going to be much action in the middle of this unless somebody makes a mistake. In which case, if somebody does, it could be complete chaos in the middle of this pack. Everyone's quite tightly bunched together, and Seb had a big old wiggle coming out of turn 4. Out of turn 7, down the hill towards turn 8. Ford, Big Al. Oh, 40, round the outside of turn 9. He gets in front into P3. I can't help but feel that Big Al must have made a mistake out of turn 8 that allowed Ford the opportunity to try and get by into turn 9. As Ferrari Pro has retired from the session, he'd be extremely frustrated at all of this, I'm sure. He's well and truly had enough. So we've had 2 voluntary retirements. We are down to 16 cars from what was meant to be 19. Down along straightaway towards the final 2 corners on the racetrack. Destiel's closed in by a little bit, but I don't think... Ooh, a bit wide. I don't think he's trying to attack Ryan Bell at all. He's trying to play a more conservative game in these opening laps of the race. Just try and save the tyres, save the battery a little bit, and just keep up. Look at that. Hear that. That huge lift into turn 1. That is an absolutely massive lift into turn 1. Open DRS and head up towards turn 4. Seb getting by Darren 11 and another big lift around turn 4. The right hander up towards turns 5, 6 and 7. Chucking it through, nice and easy. And now into the hairpin of turn 8. 40 a bit too far behind to do anything. Yeah, Destiel, you can tell he's just trying to play a more conservative game, try and save the battery, save the tyres. Oh, bit of a wiggle from 40 there at the exit of turn 10. This is the worst camera angle in the circuit. What a worthless camera angle. The whole leaderboard blocks up the racing line on the racetrack. So you have to switch the leaderboard off, then switch it back on again so you can see what the cars are doing. It's the most ridiculous camera angle, and it's been in the game since 2019. They have not changed it once. Yeah, a lot of these guys are running pretty high battery. Top 2 you can see both in the 90s, Ford in the 50s, and Big Al in the 40s. Spicy at the front of this train, leading the way on 48% battery, Bait behind. Then we have Vision in P7, 1.2 seconds behind, so the 2 in front might pull away here, and in fact we might see a change in position. Here comes Bait on Spicy, down the inside into turn 1. Does not break too deep though, they're side by side through 1. And Spicy with the inside line at turn 2 is able to keep P5. I think Bait broke a little bit too early there at turn 1. And I don't think he's close enough to attack here at 4 either. Bait could have sent it in a bit harder there and he would have easily got by Spicy. But, yeah, no, he's behind. Well and truly behind. Yeah. None of these guys quite close enough to do anything. You can see the gaps, the intervals between all the drivers. Realistically, you need to be about 4/3 of a second behind to really have any sort of shot. Yeah. 8.5 tenths separating the top two now. Bell's driving away. He's using battery too. Down to 63%. Destiel, though, has got plenty of battery himself. So he's able to use that and claw the gap back. Keep himself within that 1 second range. Meanwhile, Ford is just within that 1 second range. He'll get DRS as Ryan Bell sets a new fastest lap. 31.467. Big Al's losing time now. He's 1.1 seconds behind. Through turn 1, up towards turns 2 and 3. Down towards turn 4 now. Darren 11 gets by Broke Vegan. That is for P9. Dessel keeping the pressure up. Keeping a distance as well to Ryan Bell. He doesn't want to get too close to try and battle him just yet. He just wants to try and follow the race leader around for a little bit. Try and set up a pass later on. Seb. Broke Vegan, pretty close together on the racetrack. Down the hill towards turn 8. Ascend maybe? No. He'll stay behind the Haas. Seb in P11, unable to do anything just yet. Around turns 9 and 10, as Fernando Alonso demonstrated in the real life race, it can be a potential overtaking spot if you line it up right. Wouldn't mind seeing one of those in this race. These guys are certainly good enough to do it. Seb down the inside at 11. Vegan gives room. He's on the curb. And Seb gets in front. Nice move there from Seb. Nice respect being shown by Vegan as well. Raced hard, but yeah, well, he was stuck on the outside curb. There was no way he was going to be able to put the traction down to try and fight Seb heading towards turn 12. So he had to give in. Ford sets a new fastest lap. 31.426. Destiel close, but yeah, again, Destiel a bit wide there at turn 1, avoiding Ryan Bell's gearbox there. Pro retired, KD voluntarily retired in the pit lane. He's had enough of this race, so he yeah, pulled the car up in the pit lane and retired. Through the S's, down the hill towards turn 8. Ford close, and look at him, he's really trying here. Oh, big wiggle. Nice catch. Round turn 9, down into turn 10. I'd stay on board here for a little while, I want to watch this. DRS open. Destiel closing in on the race leader. 40 keeping up with Destiel around turn 11, 4th gear. Short shifting to 5th, yellow's out. That is Vision spinning at turn 10. There's a nice plug for DHL. Ooh, a wall bang there for Vision. There goes Plebs. So Vision down to P14 with that spin. And there goes Jimbin to take that from him too. So Vision down to 15th. Around the final 2 corners. Not a great run from Ford at all. He went in too hot into turn 14. Cost him time. Destiel closing in. This is just with DRS, no battery. Pulls out of the slipstream. Bell doesn't cover. Oh, he's trying to fight around the outside though at turn 1. He'll have the dominant inside line at turn 2. They're side by side, heading up the hill around turn 3. Bell gets the nose in front. He's got DRS assistance as well. And here comes Ford to the inside. He'll try and take P2 away from Destiel. He might take P1 here at the exit of 4. He's got drive, he's got power, but Bell has the nose in front through turn 6 into turn 7. Bell is able to just about hang on, but 40 has the inside line at turn 8. Oh, they make a little bit of contact, and here comes Destiel. He gets drive. They're 3 wide heading up the hill around turn 9. Contact. Destiel around the outside. Bell covers the inside line, and he keeps the lead. 40 keeps second. Destiel down to third. Down the back straightaway now. Big Al's caught up. He's on the back of this train once again. Around turn 11. Heading up the hill now towards turn 12. Sparks flying from underneath the cars as they climb up the hill. Going into turn 13. 40. Not the best. Oh, pretty good exit actually. It wasn't a good apex, but he got all the exit speed there on Ryan Bell. Around the final 2 corners here. And back on to the main straight. Right on board here with Ford. Keep an eye on these 2 behind. Here he comes. Pulls out of the slipstream. Looking down the inside here at turn 1. He's got momentum. And here comes Destiel. Can't fight down the inside. Yellow's out. It's down 11. Side by side through turn 1. Destiel on the outside of turn 2. Bell now on the outside of turn 3. It's going to be a drag race to turn 4. Who's got longer legs? It appears to be even as they go into turn 4. Almost making contact there. Bell keeps the car in front, only just though. Destiel will have the inside line here at turn 6. Bell fights back though. He has the inside line at 7, and he keeps the position. Great battling there. Destiel tries to send it down the inside, but didn't have the momentum as 40 had a little bit of a wiggle there, exiting turn 8. Over the crest, down the hill, round turn 9 into turn 10. Big Al's on the back of this now. It's now a 4-car fight once again. Big Al would have enjoyed that battle, I'm sure. It allowed him to catch up. Get himself involved in this all over again. Up the hill. Heading around turn 12. Can Ford break away? I don't think he can, if I'm being totally honest. See, Bell has still got plenty of battery. Ford still has battery, but nowhere near as much. Around turns 14 and 15. Back onto the main straightaway. Now Bell is not going to use any battery. He's not going to try and close in rapidly on Ford here. Just going to use the natural power of DRS. And a big lift. That was a huge lift into turn 1. Now, I'm sure someone in the chat will know better than I do. Will that be for fuel or battery around here at Bahrain? I'll give you the numbers. Ryan Bell's on 0.27 laps extra fuel. 40's got plus 93, 0.93. Fuel King? Okay. Looking at Destiel, he's 0.75. Oh, and Big Al's low. 0.17. Alright. So obviously these guys are consuming a fair chunk of fuel. And they want to take advantage of the slipstream and the DRS to try and save some fuel. Alrighty. Of course, if we have a safety car or even a VSC at any point, it would help a lot of the drivers out. Yeah, I understand that. ACW. Obviously, when you don't have DRS, you've got more drag being created, I should say. And as a result, that consumes more fuel because you need more energy to try and move the car because of how much extra drag you're producing. So into turn 1. So I'm guessing Bell and Destiel, they've got a similar mindset right now. They don't want to battle too hard, push too hard too soon. They want to try and save up some resources, save up their fuel, so they can make sure they can go to the end. Scrap that. Down the inside goes Ryan Bell at turn 4. Well, I just proved myself wrong there, as 40 tries to counter here at turn 6, but he can't do it. He'll have to stay behind. Destiel on the back of Ford, heading towards turn 8. Doesn't go for a move, though. Gives him a bump, though. Gives him a serve. It unsettles the Ferrari. He loses time. Over the crest and around turn 9 and turn 10. The gap has increased to 0.7 of a second. As players... What the... Are you leaving? No, you couldn't have been leaving the pits. Oh, he could have been. No, he was leaving the pits. He spun. Okay, I'll keep the tyre graphic up now. We're getting close to the pit window. Okay, Pledge just spun at pit exit. Okay. Cold tyres, man. You got no grip. Around the final 2 corners and back onto the main straightaway. Down the main straightaway towards so Al's in. Yeah, Huey, if you've got any spare invites, I recommend you use them. I can't invite you. I'm unable to. So I've got that friends list glitch where it doesn't properly work for me. So I've got a few drivers then pitting in for medium compound tyres. Spicy on the back of Bait. He is unable to get by. Spicy, Bait. In a little world of their own, Bags is a bit too far behind. He's 3.6 seconds behind these two here. Alright, it'll be interesting to see if Big Al's undercut will work here. I think the undercut is pretty decently strong around this circuit, but so is DRS, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to pan out. Down the back straightaway towards turn 11. 40, 6 tenths behind. 6.5 tenths. Keeping himself within that 1 second range. We head around turn 13. Onto the long straightaway towards the final 2 turns. Bell, he's not pushing too hard. He's still got plenty of battery. 40's got a bit. Destiel's got a little bit less compared to Bell. What does Bell do here? Does he move in? Yep, he goes in. 40 stays out. Destiel's in too. Oh, he checks up well. Gained a fair chunk of time at pit entry there. He pulled that up pretty well. Bates into the pits too. Now Bell should still get in front of Destiel. Should. Oh, he doesn't. What? Destiel overtakes Ryan Bell in the pit lane. Oh, an attack at turn 1. Contact between Bell and Destiel. Destiel loses it, but he caught it well at the entry to turn 2. And here comes Big Al. With warm tyres, he's got speed. Looking around the outside here at turn 4. Can't do it. Gets the over-under. Does he have the drive? Not quite. Bell's able to hang on to 8. How did Destiel get in front of Bell? Pit stops are even. Unless Bell had a poor turn in. How on earth did he do that? He gained at least 2 car lengths on Bell. Okay. Sure. Why not? It must have been a poor turn in. Had to be. He cost himself, what, a tenth? 2 tenths? Bit more. 40's in. Alright, the dots to keep out for. It's a trio of dots heading out of turn 13. With the white, the dark blue, and the maroon coloured dots. Those are the ones to keep an eye out for. It's a long pit lane here at Bahrain. Here they come down the main straightaway. Destiel at the front. Alrighty. 40 will switch off the pit lane speed limiter, and he's going to end up in front. Look at that. Because of all that stuff that happened here at turn 1, it's Ford who now leads this group, and by a little chunk as well, by 1.2 seconds, but that gap is obviously going to shrink thanks to the fact that 40 has cold tyres. So Destiel's already back within 1 second of the car in front. How in the hell did he pass? Alright. Behind. There's some other battles here. Bags of Dell keeping a gap to Seb. T-Max in this. Both Alphas inside the top 10 right now. T-Mac will be looking to try and find a way by Seb. Down through turn 9 into 10. Oh, getting very comfortable with the diffuser of Seb's car right there. He was very close to it. Bait on the back of Spicy. So we'll have a battle on for P6. They're still closing in on 4. There's Darren 11 in front. Our current race leader. Around turn 14 and 15, running wide. But getting enough drive out of the corner. He's going to have a go. He's going to draw alongside. Look down the inside here at turn 1. Send it in. Oh, Bell! Bell down the inside. He overshoots turn 1. Where did he come from? Oh, and he almost makes contact with Destiel there and loses 2 positions. He moves down to 5th. Oh my goodness me. Oh, and Bell gets by Al. Al just let him through. Why did he let him through? He just left the door open and just let him through. Okie dokie. We're not the only one here. I don't blame you for being mad. I don't blame you one bit. Oh. Yeah, Darren 11 leading the way. Yet to make a stop. Enjoying the time out in front. Got 7 tenths, 6 tenths, 5.5 tenths. Losing a little bit of time to those behind. He'll be pitting in shortly, I would assume, to get off those tyres. And Ford's used whatever battery he's got left. He is low. Can't say the same for Destiel. He's got half his battery left. Bell is out of battery. Big Al has got a bit of battery. Not a lot. He's now dropped outside of that 1 second range to Ryan Bell. Bell is just within range of Destiel. Darren 11 being overtaken for the lead. Oh, Destiel deep on the brakes, almost hitting the back of Darren 11 there. Through turn 2. Up the hill and around turn 3. DRS open. Darren getting a little squeeze into 4. Well, can't really do much though, not on those tyres. Got no grip on those tyres. So through goes Destiel, he moves into 2nd position. Down the hill to turn 8. Down the hairpin we go. 40. Yeah, he's going to be quite vulnerable with no battery left. Bell gets by Darren 11 as well. Big Al, he'll be closing in now. Now, Destiel probably should get by Ford pretty easily, I would think, with the battery advantage. Ford will do everything he can to try and hang on. Oh, gee whiz. That was a moment coming out of turn 13. Around the final 2 corners, turns 14 and 15, back onto the main straightaway. DRS open, he'll close the gap up to the race leader. Not far enough though to attack into turn 1. Pulls it up pretty well though through 1, through 2. Big Al, he'll get by Darren 11 here. DRS open, look at the other speed. Whooshka, down the inside. Sends it in. Darren gets pretty solid rotation there, but with no grip, unable to fight Big Al. Must move down to 5th place. Rest of the field, meanwhile, we do have this train of cars being led by Seb. We've got Bags Liddell behind, T-Mag, G-Force Wogboy. So we've got a 4-car fight for P8 on track. Half a second now separating the top 2. Jin Bin a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Climbing up the hill, heading around turn 12, up towards turn 13. Down to 4th gear, back on the accelerator, short shifting up to 5th. Bell doing all he can to keep within 1 second to the top 2. He too is he's running low on battery. All that extra reserve at the start of the race, it's gonski. It's all gone. Down the main straightaway towards turn 1. Yeah, Destiel will not attack here. Destiel's going to try and wait for the right opportunity to try and make the move. Doesn't want to battle forward straight away, it would seem. But he's got a pretty tidy run here out of turn 3. Looking down the inside here at turn 4. Sends it in. Almost making contact. Destiel checking up at the apex. He let Ford keep the lead. Through turn 6 into turn 7. Around turn 8. Eventually reaching full throttle. Over the crest around turn 9. Nice and easy. Down towards turn 10. Sorry, turn 11. Can't 10. 3.5 tenths separating these two. Bell not too far behind, but with no battery, he realistically can't do much. He has to wait until the two in front properly start scrapping. And he could try and get involved with the fight for the win. That's all he can really do. 41% battery. 11% battery. Here comes Destiel. Only the speed. Looking to the inside here at turn 1. They're side by side through the apex. Ford has the inside line at turn 2. This brings Bell closer. Around turn 3. DRS open on Destiel's car. Closing in to the inside here at turn 4. Dives it in. Oh, it gets drive out of the corner. Wiggle though. Costs him. Ford will keep the lead. Around turn 8. Losing a bit of time to people forward. Down the back straight away towards turn 11. The gap shrinks just a bit. Bell doing his best right now, keeping this fight alive. Tidy exit, using plenty of curb. All three drivers pushing as hard as they can. Down towards turns 14 and 15. Down the long main straightaway. DRS open on Destiel's and Ryan Bell's cars. It's lap 23 of 29. We've got 7 laps to go. The Haas is closing in towards turn 1. Not by enough though to attack. Might have this battle on for P12 on track as well. Darren 11 closing in on Jinbin as Big Al gets a time penalty. Destiel looks but can't commit to a move. Darren 11 getting by Jinbin as well. That was down the main straightaway just before turn 1. So Darren 11 into P12. That's not Ryan Bell game, that was Big Al. Down the hill through turn 10. Bit of a wiggle there from Bell. Had to lift a little bit off the throttle just to try and catch the car. Spicy under a bit of pressure from Bate as well. I remember talking to Spicy after Formula Endurance. He wasn't too keen about this round here at Bahrain. Well, he's doing pretty well right now in 5th. And I would assume he'd be pretty happy with that. Half a second there. Through the final 2 corners, back onto the main straight. See Destiel using a little bit of battery. It's now lap 24 of 29, 6 laps to go. Down towards turn 1. Again looks to the inside but will not commit to a move. Round turn 2, up the hill round turn 3. Spicy on He's under a little bit of pressure right now. He's negotiating it pretty well. Bait's been quick. Someone mentioned earlier he had an absolutely terrific start that I didn't quite pick up on. And he's maintained his position ever since. He's driven quite well, Bait. I give him a lot of credit after that start. He's driven a really, really superb race. And Spicy under a fair chunk of pressure, but Spicy, he's driving well too. He's not folding. He's keeping his eyes forward, keeping the car on the racetrack. Big Al. He'd be a bit disappointed with the penalty, but it's a guaranteed 4th place so long as he makes it to the finish and there aren't any safety cars from here to the end of the race. Out to turn 13, down the long straight away towards the final 2 corners. Destiel playing a patient game. Bell's recovering a bit of batteries, up to 21-22%. Ford's recovered a little bit as well. Destiel closing in. Got some overspeed to the outside. 322 kilometers an hour at the entry. Bell, oh, Ford keeps the nose in. He draws alongside, but he's on the outside of turn 2. DRS open on Ford's car. Closing in towards turn 4. Dives it to the inside. Destiel outbreaks the Ferrari. He's able to keep the race lead. Through turn 6, around turn 7. Around the hairpin at turn 8. Destiel, can he just drive away from here? What can Ford and Bell do in this sort of position? They got DRS to help them out. That's the only advantage they've got. They do not have the same amount of battery as Destiel. Destiel has slightly fresher tyres as well. 8 laps compared to... Oh, sorry, Ford has slightly fresher tyres. My bad. He's got 8 laps compared to Destiel and Bell, who have 9 each. And along straight towards the final 2 corners. Nice and steady. Onto the main stretch. DRS open. Destiel will not be too unfazed about Ford and Bell. They're a bit too far behind right now. Round turn 1. Bait closing in on Spicy down towards turn 1. Looks to the inside. It's a sharp movement to the inside. Around the opening corner, they're side by side. Heading towards turn 2. Spicy has the inside line. Parks the bus. He keeps P5. Good driving from both competitors. 1.3 seconds behind is Seb and P7. Bags Liddell just behind him. We've got a few battles here and there on track. These guys are really going to start going for it now. Coming towards the closing stages of this Grand Prix. There is Huey's AI. And here comes the midfield pack. Scrapping away for their respective positions. Here's the worst camera angle in Formula 1. Absolutely useless. Here's the battle for the race lead. Destiel, Ford, Bell. Out to turn 13. Down the long straightaway towards turns 14 and 15. Can Ford do anything in this position? DRS open. He'll close in down the main straightaway towards turn 1. Not by enough though, but he looks anyway, sends it down the inside. Destiel saw him coming and keeps the race lead. Oh, and a bit of a wiggle there from Destiel, but he remains unfazed. He pulls away from Ford. A humongous send down the inside. Couldn't quite pull it off though. Bait gets by Spicy. Bait is into P5, Spicy down to P6. And there's Seb and Bags Liddell. It's now a 4-car train battling for 5th. Through the S's we go. Down the hill towards turn 8. Getting it around the hairpin, nice and steady. Darren 11 sets a new fastest lap. Climbing over the crest, down the hill now, into turns 9 and 10. Seb DRS enabled, but so does Spicy. Seb can't close in. In fact, Liddell can't close in on Seb either. So these guys are in a bit of a stalemate right now. Bates trying to pull away. He's built up 6/10 already. He's got a comfy margin. Might get some help from lap traffic too. With Huey's AI, he might get some DRS assistance. Meanwhile, the leaders will begin the second last lap. Lap 28 of 29 here at Bahrain. Ford close, looks, does not commit to a move. He stays behind Destiel. Through turn 2, around turn 3, Destiel pulls away. Now the battery situation's a bit more even, 33% versus 20. It's close. And there's Bell just behind in third. His options are very few and far between. He needs the right set of circumstances to happen with the top two if he wants any shot of winning this race. Meanwhile, Bate still has Spicy, 7 bags right behind him. And this is the detriment to the lap traffic. The AI, about as smart as a walnut, will not get out of the way, and Spicy almost hits Bate there. That was very close at turn 8. No contact was made, and Bate keeps P5. For now, of course. Down the long back straightaway towards turn 11. Bate, Spicy. Then 7 bags. Vision, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We'll bring up the penalty graphic now. It's going to be important. Especially if any one of these drivers in any of these battles gets a time penalty. So this is it. They're dumping their batteries now. It's the final lap. Lap 29 of 29 here at the Bahrain International Circuit. What will Ford do? Is he close enough? He looks, he sends down the inside. He pulls it up too. He takes the lead. Fantastic. And a wiggle from Destiel. And DRS assistance from Ford. Down towards turn 4. Ford will keep the lead. My goodness, a send and a half from 40. Danny Rick, absolutely. Kebab, perfect description. That's prime Danny Rick. Sent it down the inside. What a move. But can he hang on? There's one more DRS zone left. What can Destiel do? 0.4 of a second is the gap. Coming out of turn 10. Down the back straightaway. Destiel dumps the battery. He uses DRS. He closes in on the Ferrari. Down towards turn 11. He's not close enough to go for the move. Up the hill, around turn 12 for the final time. Only 3 corners remain, and it's 2.5 tenths separating the top 2. One long straight left. It's not a great exit from Destiel either. The gap increases to 0.4 of a second. He will not be close enough. What a last lap send from our defending champion. G-Force Ford will win the Bahrain Grand Prix. Magnificent! Destiel, what an effort! Oh, I thought he had it in the bag. But that send came out of nowhere. And Bell will complete the podium places in third. Big Al 4th, Bate 5th, Spicy 6th, then 7 bags. Liddell, Wogboy 9th, T-Mac will round out the top 10. Broke Vegan P11. And then it will be Jinbin and Plevs next. Jinbin, P12, not too bad after a Q ban. Those are points on the board. Most important thing. Plevs, down to the final 2 corners. P13 of what has been an average night for a fair few drivers. Plevs was one of those drivers affected. P13 for him. Darren 11. And the final 2, Vision and Huey. Vision will finish in the points. He'll score 1 point for himself and Williams. Oh my goodness. What a last lap send. That's one of the best damn overtakes I have seen in my entire commentary career. Where did that come from? That was incredible. Congratulations, Ford. That's a mega effort. Nice gold laurel as well. Well done to Destiel, a P2 finish. And Ryan Bell completing the podium places in third. What a final lap to a Grand Prix. So the unofficial results of the Bahrain Grand Prix. G-Force Ford is our race winner. From starting third, he finishes on the top step of the podium with a final last lap lunge at turn 1. He managed to pull it off. Destiel will finish in P2. Ryan Bell will complete the podium places in third. Big Al 4th, followed by Bass in 5th, followed by Spice C, Seb, Bags Liddell, G-Force Wogboy, and T-Mac will round out the top 10. Outside of the 10 we have Broke Vegan, Jin Bin, Players, Darren 11, Vision will round out the points. Huey, Ferrari Pro, and G-Force Leo were 3 of the drivers that were massively affected due to the crossplay issues tonight. Well, I'm only able to talk to one of them, as much as I would love to talk to all 3 of them. Because there was that battle in the middle of the race that was absolutely fantastic from all 3 of them. Contact was next to nothing. They gave it everything for the race lead. It was fantastic. And that final lap send, my goodness. Ricardo style, down the inside. How did he pull that thing up? If I did that, I would have ended up in Abu Dhabi. He pulled the damn thing up. Wow. That was something. Alright, I'll invite Mr. Ford in. We can have a chat about what happened during this race. Where are you, Ford? There you are. Just realised as well, I need to put my controller on charge. It's quite low on battery. I'll switch this as well. Down to that. Or maybe a bit like that. There we go. Mr. Ford?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Hang on.
How are you?
Not too bad. I'll turn you up just a smidgen.
Yeah, I'll make sure I'm good.
Alright, that's fantastic. Well, unfortunately, you're the only guy I get to speak to. Because that was really something between all 3 of you guys. And temporarily 4 with Big Al. That was quite something.
Yeah.
But 40, you're the winner of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And it took one hell of an effort to get there. Man, you must be pretty pumped.
No, it's it's about time, Lane. It's been some pretty tough runs recently, man. But yeah, tonight was good. I didn't expect to be showing probably as much pace as I did tonight, but yeah, we take that any day of the week for sure.
Alright, so first of all, I want to talk about qualifying. I know it was a long time ago, but you ended up qualifying 3rd for this. You mentioned earlier that you weren't expecting too much pace here at Bahrain. Were you surprised then at your P3 qualifying position?
Absolutely. I mean, I think I probably got pretty lucky being P3. I probably put about an hour and a half practice into it beforehand. I did a 0.3 as my quickest, but that was with a flashback in the lap as well. So I think proper lap, I think .4 might have been my PB. So yeah, to be 2/10 off, I wasn't, too pleased about. But P3 is nowhere near as bad as I thought it might have been. So yeah, I was pretty happy there actually.
Fair enough. And then of course we had the lobby issues that held up everybody.
Hopefully we get that stuff sorted out soon, because it's it gets you out the rhythm, that's for sure. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I honestly don't really know what we can do from a coordinator point of view. I mean, we've tried to identify problems with the game. We've identified them, but we can't really work out a way to try and solve them.
Happening, hey?
Well, a lot of the core problems with the game can only be solved by codemasters themselves. That's it. Which is incredibly frustrating, because as much as we can whinge and complain, it won't change anything.
You're knocking on deaf ears, I think the comment goes.
Yes, it's like speaking to a brick wall. So.
Yeah, same thing, yeah.
So, yeah, it's frustrating, and absolutely, it knocks you out of your rhythm. You have to remember to put a setup on as well. And I've done that once where I haven't put a setup on. It was at Australia, and it was awful. It was the worst experience I think I ever had in a race car. It was not fun. All right.
Absolutely.
Race start then. How was that from your point of view, from P3 on the grid?
Yeah, I think I only dropped down to P4, which, no big issue really. And all the guys behind us ended up battling, I think, and so it was just the top 4, which helped out a lot, because usually we're trying to pull away from everyone else, but they pretty much did it for us, because I think everyone's pace was probably pretty similar tonight. Once we all got in rhythm, the gap wasn't dropping away too much from P4 to P5. So yeah, if that had stuck in DRS, it would have been interesting to see how many cars would have stayed with it, but yeah, thankfully they did our job for us.
And also looking back at qualifying, the whole field was separated by 1.2 seconds. So it showed from qualifying that the field was quite competitive for this race. So I think I absolutely agree with your statement that if some of those guys in the midfield had better opening laps and was able to keep up with the 4 of you at the front, it probably would have been an even bigger fight towards the front of the field. But yeah, it was you, Big Al, Destiel and Ryan Bell all in a train. What was your mindset in that train? It seemed like a fair few drivers were, initially lifting and coasting a lot, particularly at turn 1 and turn 4 were 2 huge areas where I noticed a few of you guys were lifting and coasting. I don't think you were doing that though, were you?
No. I had no idea how much fuel I needed for my car, so I overloaded it. So I was just sending it pretty much, fuel wise, but battery wise I was still trying to keep intact throughout that first stint. I know by the end of the race it got pretty bad, but I whatever happened in the first stint doesn't really matter. I think because we had that freedom to battle, it actually created more battles, not having to worry about the other guys catching up behind us. So yeah, it's like as soon as that first car strikes, everyone tries to get amongst it. Which is, I think, what was happening tonight, and it's good when that happens. I think it creates exciting racing, and I think at one stage Ryan was in first and dropped to P4 halfway through a lap just because we were all battling. So, when the top 4 is that competitive and we all know how to race, it's good racing.
That was one hell of a moment during the stream. Probably one of the big highlights from the stream, with you fellas really going at it throughout that whole lap. I can vividly remember. I think it was you, I think it might have been you, Bell and Destiel, 3 wide, heading over the crest, round turn 9. And Bell was the one who ended up winning the battle. You, I think, followed Bell through into second.
I did, but I was the first one to back out. I was in the middle of the 3, and I thought, no, I'm not having that.
I'm not having this. You fellas do your thing, and I'll just pick up the scraps. And you ended up in second, because I think Destiel went a bit wide of the apex at 10.
He got onto the curb on the outside there, which kind of just skates you away. So but yeah, being in the middle of those, that 3 wide into that corner does not work at all. So I backed out, thought no, and thankfully I still came out in P2, which was a position ahead of where I was originally. So it was just a long overtake pretty much. But
out of the top 4 of you, I think Big Al was the first to make a stop for the medium compound tyre. Then Destiel and Ryan Bell went on the same lap. You went longer. At the time, did you feel that was the right call, or were you just sort of winging it?
No, I was pretty happy to go longer. I thought whatever those two do, I'm not going to do. Or, well, whatever Ryan does in front of me, I'm not doing. So if he stayed out an extra lap, I would have pitted. But, yeah, I don't think there was much difference between the overcut and the undercut here. I think overcut was probably better, if anything. But I think they also battled coming out of pits, which was perfect as well. So, yeah, not too much thought process went behind it. It was just whatever Ryan does, I won't.
Fair enough. And it worked pretty well initially. You were about a second and a half in front of Destiel coming out of the pits, but obviously cold tyres dragged Destiel back within 1 second range pretty quickly. So you were back at it again. And eventually Destiel would find a way by you. Where did he do it? He did it down the main straightaway, I think, with DRS open.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty simple one in turn 1, I think. I was defending quite well through turn 4. He went up my inside a couple of times, but I just kind of kept momentum around the outside. So yeah, I think he got it done at turn 1, which again didn't bother me too much. I needed to save a bit of battery anyway, so as long as he didn't pull away, yeah, I was pretty happy.
So that was the game plan then. From there to the end of the race, it was about saving battery and trying to put yourself in a position to attack.
Pretty much, yeah. I was, I think my battery was like 5% once I got past Darren at the very start of the medium stint, and so from that point through to the last lap, I was pretty much just saving the entire time. Yeah, it took a while, but I think I got it back up to 30%, 25% by the last lap.
Mm-hmm. Now, with a few to go, you decided to go for your overtake at turn 1, and it almost worked, but you overshot by just enough to allow Destiel back through. Was that an impulsive thing? You felt that you were close enough to just go for it?
Yeah, why not, I guess. Let him know I'm there, maybe. No, not too much went through my head then, thinking about the, I guess, repercussions of it, which thankfully there were none. Destiel saw me coming. But I guess, you know, just keep them on their toes a bit, really. And I think it closed the gap a bit anyway, in doing that, so yeah.
But yeah, it did check him up a little bit. It allowed the gap to shrink just enough, leading on to the final lap. Now you were lining Destiel up, and I didn't think you were close enough to really properly pull this off. But not only did you dive down the inside, you checked the damn thing up at the apex.
Yeah.
How in the hell did you do that?
I don't know, man. I thought I probably broke a little bit too deep. But yeah, it managed to stop, I guess, which is good. But yeah, it just stomped on the brake pedal pretty much, and thankfully, yeah,
it stopped.
It managed to stop itself. Yeah. I think, look, honestly, like hundredths of a second later, and I'm overshooting that apex by a mile, and Destiel goes through. So yeah, it was probably just perfect timing for it.
Because yeah, that was the most impressive thing I think about that overtake, because you tried it a few laps earlier, and you overshot the apex because of how deep you broke. And you managed to readjust enough to stop the car on the apex and park the bus.
Yeah.
And you had DRS down the next straightaway, and you pulled away from Destiel into turn 4. He couldn't attack you there. So it meant his opportunities were few and very far between. Was there a bit of pressure on you on that final lap? Was it a tad bit nerve-wracking?
I think the only corner I was really nervous for was that downhill left as you go into the next DRS straight, just because it's a DRS straight. Anything can, you know, if anything, he's got the advantage on it. So yeah, that was kind of the only corner. But otherwise, like for the rest of the lap, I felt pretty comfortable all race, keeping up with the guys, and if not pulling away a little bit. So I think pace was pretty good. But yeah, once I was through turn 4, that was pretty much the main bit. That was yeah, I was pretty comfortable after that.
Crossing the line in first position after making a move like that, you must have been pretty pumped at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew what I had to do on that second last lap. You know, just be close enough. Whether or not I was close enough, I'm not sure, but it worked. So yeah, it's about time, man. It's about time. It's
insane, man. That was quite the effort. One final question for you, though. Next week, we're heading over to Montreal. Now, are you attending next week's race at Montreal?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic.
Yep, I'll be there again. Yep.
What's your thoughts about Circuit Gilles Villeneuve then?
It's got a good flow to it. I'm probably a little bit notorious for penalties though, which I'll try and avoid. But otherwise, yeah, I don't mind it. That back World of Champions chicane is nice. But yeah, I think if I avoid penalties, I'll go right there. Hopefully.
Fair enough. Well, I think penalties just come with the racetrack, don't it? With Circuit Villeneuve, it's a very natural thing there because there's so many corners you can cut. And get warnings for.
But, you just get a little bit excited and just overstep the mark a bit. Thankfully, you can't do that here at Bahrain, but
too true. Penalties were very few here at Bahrain, so that was good to see. But man, that was a hell of an effort on the final lap. Congratulations on winning the Bahrain Grand Prix. Well done.
Thank you very much, Lane. Cheers.
And a shout out as well, Destiel, hell of an effort. Definitely the best out of the battery savers I noticed over the course of that race. You had either a little bit more, substantially more battery compared to everyone else, and by the end of the race you still had 10% more than 40. But that overtake, I think it took all of us by surprise right on the final lap. I had a feeling he was going to overshoot again, but he pulled it up, man. And didn't get DRS down towards turn 4. That would have sucked as well. Just not having that opportunity to try and counter. But no, a hell of an effort to get P2 at the end of the race. And a congrats as well to Mr. Ryan Bell. Qualified on pole position. He only put one lap together. He had no flying lap before his pole position lap. And then right at the end of the session, everyone else made mistakes on their final runs. And it meant that you got pole position while in the pit lane. So pretty solid Sebastian Vettel impression right there. Led comfortably at the start, had some great scrapping, and then had that incident with Destiel coming out of the pits. I'm still oblivious to how Destiel managed to beat you out of the pits. I don't know. That send down the inside at turn 1, really going for it. The door was obviously going to be shut at the apex, so the fact that there was contact there at turn 1, it wasn't totally surprising. Kept the fight alive though for as long as you could. Ran out of battery, and I think not having that extra battery in your back pocket sort of subjected you to stay in 3rd place. Still not a bad finish though. Solid points next to your name and for AlphaTauri as well. So congrats on the P3. But I think, folks, with everything said and done, it's now time for us to wrap up the stream. And it's been a long one. I can only apologise for how long it's been. We have very little control over what happens with the game itself, with lobby breaks and whatnot. But I think we have control over how we can restart lobbies and whatnot. And we ended up wasting a fair chunk of time while trying to retire everyone during a race, so we can just start up again. It took way too long for us to do that. And we ended up restarting the lobby anyway. It took us forever. But that race was certainly good enough to make up for it, especially the ending, especially that bit in the middle where the leaders duelled it out for the race lead. That was absolutely fantastic. But I think it's now time for us to end the stream. I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you everyone so much for watching. And we'll see you next week for round 7 of the championship at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix. Until then, it's goodbye.